Let's get right into it. Number 10. The marketer who ruined your inbox. Your inbox is a disaster. 50 emails about discount vitamins, Nigerian princes, and hot singles. You can thank Gary Thork for that. He's the father of spam email. It's 1978. The internet isn't even called the internet yet. It's called ARPANET. No ads, no spam, just scientists and military sending important messages. Gary worked at Digital Equipment Corporation. He needed to sell computers, so he grabbed 400 email addresses and blasted out a sales pitch to everyone on ARPANET. Back then, this was like walking into a library and starting a conga line. It just wasn't done. The response was mixed. Some people were interested. Others were furious. The government even called Gary to tell him to knock it off, but his experiment worked. His company made $12 million from that one email. The floodgates opened. Other marketers saw what Gary did. Today, spam makes up 45% of all emails sent worldwide. That's over 14.5 billion spam emails per day. Spam filters are so aggressive, they sometimes block important emails. We've had to create entire laws just to fight spam. Those unsubscribe links at the bottom of emails, they exist because of Gary's one email. Number 9. The inventor who hates his own invention. John Sylvan invented the K-Cup in the 90s. He was tired of terrible office coffee. His idea was simple, little plastic pods that make one perfect cup at a time. By 2014, Keurig was making so many K-Cups that if you lined them up end to end, they would circle the earth more than 10 times. But those little pods are basically impossible to recycle. They're made from multiple layers of plastic and aluminum, all sealed together. Most recycling facilities can't even process them, so they end up in landfills, billions of them every year. John Sylvan realized he'd created an environmental nightmare. He sold his stake in the company for $50,000 back in 1997. Today, the company is worth billions, but Sylvan says he regrets ever inventing the pods. "I feel bad sometimes that I ever did it," he said in an interview. He doesn't even own a Keurig machine. He says they're too expensive and it's not like drip coffee is tough to make. He originally invented K-Cups to reduce waste in offices. Instead, he accidentally created one of the most wasteful products in modern history. Number 8. The Lord who dismembered a world wonder. In 1801, British nobleman Lord Elgin was in Athens, which was under Ottoman control. He saw the Parthenon, an ancient temple that had survived over 2,000 years. Elgin decided to preserve the Parthenon's sculptures by literally cutting them off the building. He sawed off half the temple's marble sculptures and shipped them back to Britain. Elgin claimed he had permission from the Ottoman authorities, though conveniently, no one can find the original document. His workers used saws, chisels, and crowbars to pry these ancient masterpieces off the building. Some pieces were dropped and shattered, others were lost at sea during shipping. These weren't just random decorations. The Parthenon marbles were part of a single unified story told through sculpture. By removing them, Elgin ripped pages out of an ancient stone book. Today, the Parthenon in Athens has empty spaces where these sculptures used to be. Meanwhile, the actual sculptures are in the British Museum in London. Greece has been asking for them back for over 200 years, but the British Museum keeps saying no. It's like stealing someone's dog and refusing to return it because you bought a nicer collar. Thanks to one guy's souvenir shopping spree, we'll never see the Parthenon as it was meant to be seen. Number 7. The man who ruined cities with highways. Robert Moses destroyed America's cities with a pencil and some concrete. In the 1950s, people got letters saying their homes had to go, because this man wanted to build highways through their neighborhoods. Robert Moses never drove a car in his life. He never even had a driver's license, but he became obsessed with building highways through cities. He deliberately designed them to keep poor people and minorities trapped. He built bridges over his parkways too low for buses to pass under, because he didn't want people who relied on public transport to access his beaches and parks. Moses would look at a thriving neighborhood and declare it slum clearance. Then he'd bulldozer entire communities, splitting them in half with massive highways. The Cross Bronx Expressway is his most infamous project. It cut through 113 streets and required demolishing hundreds of buildings. There was an alternative route that would have displaced far fewer people. Moses rejected it. Moses was never elected to any position. He accumulated so much power that even mayors and governors couldn't stop him. Cities across America looked at what he was doing and copied him. That's how one man's terrible ideas spread across the entire country. Today, those neighborhoods have never recovered. Number 6. The man who taught the world to hate its politicians. Lee Atwater changed politics forever. He invented trash talk for politics. Before Atwater, political fights were like chess matches, slow, strategic, and kind of boring. After Atwater, they became more like WWE matches, full of drama and personal attacks. Instead of attacking a candidate's policies, he'd go after them personally. It's like instead of saying, "I disagree with your homework answers," he'd say, "You're stupid and your mom dresses you funny." His most famous move was during the 1988 presidential campaign. He helped George H.W. Bush beat Michael Dukakis by turning him into a villain. Instead of debating prison policy, he made an ad about a prisoner named Willie Horton who committed crimes while on furlough under Dukakis's watch. That ad helped turn a 17-point lead for Dukakis into a loss. Atwater found a cheat code for winning elections. Once he showed everyone how it worked, there was no going back. Politicians around the world started copying his playbook. Near the end of his life, Atwater actually regretted what he'd done. He got brain cancer at age 40 and wrote a famous apology letter, but by then, it was too late. The genie was out of the bottle. His tactics had spread like a virus through the political world. Number 5. The doctor who sold the world on satanic panic. Meet Dr. Lawrence Pastor, a Canadian psychiatrist who wrote Michelle Remembers. This book claimed his patient, who later became his wife, had recovered memories of being tortured by satanic cults as a child. The book became a bestseller, and suddenly everyone was looking for devil worshippers under their beds. None of it was real. Not a single claim could be verified. The dates didn't match up, the locations were wrong, and the recovered memories were basically just stories made up during therapy sessions. That didn't stop Pastor from going on shows like Oprah and spreading these tales. He even started consulting with police departments about ritual abuse. Suddenly, every unexplained crime was blamed on these imaginary satanic cults. Take the McMartin preschool case. The owners were accused of running a satanic cult and abusing hundreds of children. The trial lasted 6 years and cost $15 million. All charges were dropped because there was no evidence, but by then, lives were already destroyed. The whole thing became known as the Satanic Panic. It was a modern witch hunt, complete with false accusations and ruined lives, and it all started because one doctor decided to pass off made-up stories as fact. Number 4. The CEO who ruined the American dream. The year is 1981. Companies take care of their workers. Hard work means decent pay, good benefits, and a job for life. Then Jack Welch becomes CEO of General Electric. He decides to completely change how American business works. Before Welch, companies balanced the needs of workers, customers, and shareholders. Welch thought companies should only care about one thing, making shareholders richer. He started firing people, a lot of people. In his first few years as CEO, he fired 112,000 workers. He got a nickname, Neutron Jack, because like a neutron bomb, he eliminated the people but left the building standing. He created something called rank and yank. Every year, managers had to rank all their employees. The bottom 10% got fired. No matter what, even if everyone was doing a good job, 10% had to go. It was like a corporate Hunger Games. This created a culture of fear and backstabbing. Other companies saw GE's stock price going up and started copying Welch's playbook. Mass layoffs became normal. Jobs got shipped overseas. All that mattered was the next quarter's profits. When Welch retired in 2001, business magazines called him Manager of the Century. But 20 years later, we can see what his ideas really did. The stable jobs that built the American middle class are gone. One CEO convinced corporate America that greed was good and loyalty was for suckers, and we're still living with the consequences. Number 3. The teenager who started a world war. Gavrilo Princip was 19 years old in 1914. He was part of a Serbian nationalist group called the Black Hand. Their plan was to assassinate Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne. Their first attempt was a complete disaster. Someone threw a grenade at Ferdinand's car. It bounced off and exploded under the wrong vehicle. The assassins scattered. Princip went to a deli to get a sandwich. Meanwhile, Ferdinand's driver got lost and took a wrong turn. They ended up right in front of the deli where Princip was eating. Princip pulled out his pistol and shot both Ferdinand and his wife. Austria-Hungary got mad at Serbia for the assassination. Russia said, "Hey, leave Serbia alone." Germany was like, "Don't tell Austria-Hungary what to do." France jumped in because they hated Germany. Britain joined because they promised to protect neutral Belgium, which Germany had just invaded. Just like that, one teenager's sandwich break turned into World War I. The war killed about 20 million people. It reshaped the entire world map. It led to the rise of communism in Russia. Number 2. the scientist who starved millions. Trofim Lysenko decided to play scientist in the Soviet Union. In the 1920s, the Soviet Union was desperate to solve its food shortage problems. Along comes Lysenko, claiming he could revolutionize agriculture. His big idea was that plants from the same class don't compete with each other for resources. It's like he thought plants were good little communists who would share everything equally. So he convinced farmers to plant seeds incredibly close together. But plants do compete with each other, and they compete hard. He also claimed that if you exposed seeds to cold temperatures, they would pass this memory on to their offspring. It's like saying if you learn to play piano, your kids will automatically be Mozart. Stalin loved these ideas because they fit with Soviet ideology. Scientists who disagreed with Lysenko were sent to gulags or executed. Over 3,000 biologists were either imprisoned or killed. His agricultural theories were forced on farmers across the Soviet Union and China. The result was catastrophic crop failures and famines. In China alone, his methods contributed to the Great Chinese Famine, where an estimated 15 to 55 million people died, all because one guy couldn't admit he was wrong about how plants grow. Today we use Lysenkoism as a term for when politics destroys science. Number 1. The doctor who gave us anti-vaxxers. In 1998, one doctor unleashed a wave of fear we're still dealing with today. Then Dr. Andrew Wakefield publishes a paper claiming he found a link between the MMR vaccine and autism. The media goes wild. Parents panic. Decades of progress in fighting deadly diseases starts to crumble. This wasn't just bad science. It was straight-up fraud. Wakefield had been paid over $600,000 by lawyers looking to sue vaccine companies. He didn't tell anyone about this conflict of interest. The study only looked at 12 kids. He scared the entire world based on a sample size smaller than your average classroom. And even with just 12 kids, he still had to fake the data. He literally made stuff up, changed medical records, and performed unnecessary procedures on children. When other scientists tried to replicate his results, they couldn't. It's hard to replicate something that's completely made up, but the panic had already spread. Vaccination rates started dropping all over the world. When vaccination rates drop, diseases that we'd nearly wiped out start coming back. In 2019, global measles cases hit their highest levels in 23 years. That's thousands of kids getting sick from a disease we could have prevented, all because one guy chased fame and money instead of doing actual science. Even after his paper was completely debunked, after he lost his medical license, after countless studies proved him wrong, some people still believe him. He's like the zombie of bad science. No matter how many times you kill it with facts, it just keeps coming back. And his lie has probably caused more damage to public health than any other single person in modern history. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.